Tea only on Win Media 98.9.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. With your faves, me, and of course my lovely co-host and producer Jade Gwenny Gwenadita, CPL Matters, Stuart Johnson. And we are back. It is Monday, May 9th. And we're right here in Win Media's studios.
Indeed.
Jade, it is Monday. We are back from a lovely weekend. How was yours?
It was nice, I won't lie. It was really nice.
It was nice?
Yes.
I'm afraid to ask.
No, you could.
Okay. Tell us why.
I just spent some time outside for a bit and then I had a nice little calm Mother's Day. Stayed home and cleaned and cooked.
Yeah, Jay Name should a point there where he could express exactly how much gratitude he has for the job that you do yet, yeah.
I'm teaching him how to season food though.
Oh, yeah.
We're on a good start.
Natural, that's, some of our mothers need to teach our children to cook, eh?
Start them from early.
Not just the children, because some of y'all feel like it's just the girls. Nope.
Everybody. Yeah, I had Jaden stirring the pot last week and trying in a little salt. He found the salt shaker thing.
Oh, love that.
Started to explain to him, yes, this is what you do with it. And he was like, Mommy, I could do it. I was like, sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I lift him up and I said, hey, hot.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Guys, remember, it is okay. It is okay for children to do dangerous things. Carefully.
Supervised.
Yeah, carefully. carefully. Do dangerous things carefully. Very important. Very important. But
happy belated Mother's Day to all of the wonderful mothers.
Indeed.
And aunties and sisters and stepmoms and godmoms and mothers-in-laws.
The persons who perform motherly duties.
Yes.
You all are really appreciated.
Trust me, you are.
I keep saying all the time, especially for women who have given birth. I don't. Let me tell you something. There's a reason why women give birth and not men. The reason is,
men can't take it.
If it was up to men to birth other little human beings, the species would have been extinct. I'm telling you right now, the species would have been extinct. We are not cut out for that.
I'm going to fold quick.
Fold? Jade, why we ain't going down the road there? We ain't going down the road there. All of man's energies would have not been put into war machines. It would have put into ways to stop us from getting pregnant.
Birth control.
I'm telling you.
Men's birth control would have been up because I...
Priority list.
Listen.
Priority, big priority.
I've watched enough simulators of pregnancy when the women strap on the little thing, or when they strap a watermelon to the spouse,
Mm.
y'all can't handle it, boy.
Jade, I'm not even trying that.
Yeah,
Remember when we was discussing having one come in? I was the one person who was like, nope, not me. I
I
don't.
know we're gonna want to do it to them.
yeah, maybe I guess. Maybe we could bring in a guest. Bring in a couple. Maybe we could have a couple of fans of the show
willing
to
men.
come on and do a special episode. Next Mother's Day. We're gonna do a special show where we have a few volunteers come in.
Strap a little something to them.
Yeah, a few minutes of pregnancy. That's what we'll call it. A few minutes of pregnancy with Island Tea.
I love it.
But Jade, I think we really need to, and I could say it now because Mother's Day has passed, and of course, yesterday would have been the day where we really showed all the wonderful women in our life, because really and truly is a celebration of womanhood. But where we showed all the women in our life with appreciation, love, and I'm sure gifts.
Yeah.
But I want to really,
I got a gift for the first time. Again up there.
Jade, you just stepping up?
Yeah.
You stepping up, girl.
Expensive too. I said, yeah, somebody love me, boy.
So this is exactly what I'm talking about. As you should, Jade.
As I should. Let
As
me
you
show
should.
you. Hold on.
Let me see.
See if I can find it quick.
Let me see what going on here.
Come on, sir.
Because let me see what going on here.
I know. Look at that.
Jade is loved, guys. Jade is loved. And this is what I'm talking about. As she should be. Now, this is something that I find a lot of... You see, this is why you listen to Island Tea, guys. There are a lot of perspectives that go untouched on a lot of the nations and platforms.
Indeed.
Right? And I intend, to as much as possible, to bring light to some of these issues. I want to send out a big shout out to the men today. The men that recognize how important the women who birth their children are.
Whoa, I didn't take them.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
Just guys.
I know. But
Or who
And-
birthed a child who they appreciate, just appreciation for women. Who
No.
birth children.
I'm speaking specifically to the as we call them colloquially, the baby daddies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're talking to me then. Go ahead.
The baby daddies who show appreciation for the mothers of their children, right? And simultaneously have to somehow deal with the grief from their now present partners, whether girlfriends or wives, about how they choose to show that appreciation. Yes,
I was like, no, that's anything I got to do with me, you know, because
Jade,
you're going to go with here.
this is a thing, Jade, and nobody does want to talk about it. It got certain topics people don't want to talk about.
Do your thing.
It got certain things people don't want to talk about, and this is one of them. Jade, what a lot of people don't recognize is how Mother's Day, for mothers, as it should be, is a day of celebration, is a day of just gratitude. People show your gratitude and all of that. But for Jade, for a lot of men, is headache, grief, and strife, confusion, drama, and just total disbelief in what it is they have to deal with, Jade.
Especially when you have multiple children, mothers.
Let me tell you something, right? I don't believe that it should be a problem if your boyfriend, right? Not as a boyfriend, chooses on this one day to gift his child's mother with a gift, take her out, have lunch or whatever with her, right? What seems to happen is there are a lot of women who feel that they are the ones who should determine exactly how their partner shows appreciation to their significant other. They believe that they have a say in how that they go.
You mean not to their significant other,
To
but
the child's mother of their partner.
I don't think that's fair.
That is not fair, Jade, but it's a thing. Let me tell you something, Jade. I see it all the time. I hear it from all my boys, them that they be struggling, Jade. It's a rough day for them because they, on one hand, they want to be able to show appreciation to the woman that is partnering with them to raise this child, right? The romantic part of the relationship might have dissolved, right? And the partner now want to tell them how they should show that appreciation. Or it's okay, yeah, give her a little gift, but you ain't got to go over there. You ain't got to stay over there. You ain't got to go. You ain't got to take out for lunch. You ain't got to. Girl, who is you to decide? How you can come decide that there?
Can you there with me?
Jade,
I tell you, that's why.
I can get down the road there, you know.
That's the reason.
I can get
Can
down
you there with me?
I can get down the road because people don't want to talk about
But
it.
no, you talk. This ain't got to do me again. You continue.
Jade, but as a woman, Jade, you are dating. No,
I've not experienced that.
I know. So, but I want to get your views.
Yeah, I don't feel like, especially if the relationship isn't anything where you should feel away. Like, if it's not a relationship where your child father actively trying to get back with his child's mother, then you shouldn't feel somewhere that he appreciate the person that brought a life into the world.
Jade,
A life.
there is.
She could have died.
Jade.
I feel like she deserves at least 1 day of appreciation, man.
And this is an ongoing responsibility. It wasn't just the birth of the child. This woman is actively part of raising the child.
Yeah, I know.
So if the man wants to show appreciation to this woman, right, who is on this journey with him, I don't understand why some people want to take offense with how he shows it. Like
jealousy.
Jade, and I'll go one further than that. It is steeped in insecurity.
Yeah.
And the problem is that a lot of times what they like to do is to use words that have meaning in all kind of wrong ways to try to justify their feelings. No, girl, you're insecure. You need to chill. Right?
They can't tell him that.
What they like to say is, I am setting boundaries. No, but that's not a boundary.
No, that's not.
It's based in insecurity.
That's not how a boundary works.
That's not how boundary work. And not only that, why do you feel that it's your responsibility to set boundaries with how I interact with somebody else in my life? That's not your responsibility. You could make a request.
You could say how you feel.
You could express how you feel.
But you can't ban me from.
And you could live in your insecurity. You could live in your insecurity. You could admit you're insecure. And so you could say, hey, I need you to help me work through this insecurity. But you can't come and decide because you decide that we can date, that no, you can decide how I interact with all the other people in my life.
That was here before you. I feel that's very outside.
Jade, people do it all the time.
I know, yeah.
You know, the other one, I had this discussion with a friend of mine, right? I had a discussion with a friend of mine. You know, the other one that people say, oh, they want to decide what time such and such will stop calling your phone. Excuse you? We have a call on the line. Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T. What's up?
Azim and Jade, I'm so glad I got in with you guys.
Morning.
Let me turn on my volume because somehow it's not coming through my car. Anyway, here's what I'm listening to you. I'm hearing what you're saying. I wouldn't tell anybody what to do on Mother's Day with their exes, the mothers of their children. That is totally up to them, right? But from my experience, I think just if a man wants to do more, that's great for him. But remember the dynamic of the Caribbean, of these islands. A lot of men have more than one child with more than one woman. If you're supposed to go trips all over the place with gifts for them, that's one. I doubt whether he's going to do that. So maybe you send a message, send a card, send a text, maybe sufficient, right? And again, it's not me telling anybody. It's just acknowledging that that's the mother of my child, and I'm going to wish her happy Mother's Day today. I think a man, at the end of the day, the man in his particular position at present would be to honor his own mother and his wife. If he has a wife at that time who has given birth to his child or whoever he lived with at the time, that's his main priority. But to expect him to deal with exes and so on is quite kind of reaching. you know, and I think, a text is enough, or a card is enough.
I understand. I understand how you feel, but to me, I got different view. Jade,
Because
I feel
we're
like if
looking
you're
at
honoring mothers,
dynamics.
you should recognize that your mother isn't the only mother in the situation, especially when you have a child with somebody.
Your
not only
mother-
that, the thing for me is that I can't. I don't think it's right to give the same level of appreciation to your child mother that you would give to like your godmother. I can't just send my child mother a text.
No, I'm talking about your own mother. That is your priority is your own mother, and yes, the mother of your children. But you're talking about exes. Suppose the person has a relationship, has a wife, a husband, or something, right? Are you going to try and take them out to lunch when they have a husband? No. You're simply going to wish them happy Mother's Day via text or via a card.
That is for her to decide that is for her to decide what she's comfortable with.
In a relationship.
I think that's for her to. I think that's for her to decide. The same way I don't believe that boyfriends should get upset. I don't believe that boyfriends should get upset when the father tries to show appreciation to the mother.
I am saying you're talking about ex. You're talking about an ex.
But this isn't. But see, that's my thing. This isn't a romantic gesture. So the idea of exes, I don't think that's fair to bring into the conversation.
No need for romantic gestures after a relationship is complete. All you need to do is wish happy Mother's Day.
That's what I'm saying. But it's not a romantic gesture. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so that's it. But other than that, the gift, the taking to lunch or dinner or whatever, unless the person, you have that closeness still, not, and especially that would be respecting the person in your life, So do unto others as you'd have them do unto you is the golden rule. So let's move with that. Thank you.
All right, Karen, thank you so much. But Jade, that was the other word I was going to talk about, They like to use that word respect. Oh, you're disrespecting me. You know what disrespect mean?
Yeah, and I think we do romanticize too many things. Everything don't have to be a romantic gesture.
It's not a romantic gesture.
Yeah, like everything don't have to be because you invite your child mothers or mother out for lunch to show them appreciation on Mother's Day. I don't feel like that's a romantic gesture.
You gotta deal with whatever it is in you that got you feeling this is weird. You gotta deal with that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It is not a romantic gesture. In other words, then the act of going to dinner with somebody is not inherently romantic.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's not inherently romantic.
Unless you make it. Yeah.
It has to do with what the intentions, the nature of the interactions, etc., etc., etc. As a matter of fact, I don't believe that it should even be weird for, let's say, my child's my ex, right? Mm-hmm. My ex, my child's mom, who's now we don't have any romantic entanglements or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I know this has happened, she's now in a relationship with somebody, mm-hmm. and dude takes everybody out for lunch. Mm-hmm. Right?
With everybody.
If her present boyfriend, mm-hmm. maybe if they have kids, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They all kind of do a dinner together to celebrate the common mother in their life. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think we have to become way more mature when it comes to these relationships.
And that is it right there, friend. These adults we have in this country, this world.
We have to become way more mature.
They're not everything they see as a threat or a romantic gesture or where he treats you nice. So you want him to treat me terrible? We don't understand. You
Jade,
prefer for me to treat me terrible?
You got some dudes like that, Jade. You got some dudes like that. Dude, hear about something happening in your life. You're getting an accident. You're getting whatever. Your child's dad gonna call you to see if you're doing all right. And your present boyfriend got a problem with that. What he calling you for? You can't do nothing about it.
Carla, there's more than there's other ways. You don't have to take them out.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
That was just an example. Because we'd expect y'all if you have 5 to 6 children. I mean, unless you could afford it and everybody cool with it. And
if you're P. Diddy, then everybody come to dinner together.
Everybody come to dinner and chill out and,
But my point is, Jade, I don't think it is the place of your present partner to determine how you should show gratitude. Whatever once there's no romantic intentions
Yeah.
involved. The person could be married, your ex could be married, she could have moved on. This could have been 16 years ago. I don't think it's for anybody to come and decide how you should then decide. You could express, hey, that makes me uncomfortable. But understand that comes out of insecurity. We lost a call. Let's see if we get this one. Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T. What's up?
Good morning, folks.
Morning.
And belated happy Mother's Day to you, Jade.
Thank you.
You're hitting some good points, but at the same time, you have to take some, which you are taking feeling into consideration. Every relationship that ends and a new one begins, mostly women, always use the boyfriend or the husband before to judge the present one. And so that present one have a large shoe to put his foot in. And he have to measure up, he have to be either better and he shouldn't be worse. Because most of the thing would have say, oh, if Jimmy was here, Jimmy would have do it this way. Jimmy would have get it done, and so on. And so he might have heard that, he might have recognized lots of that. So he is what you call walking on a tight thread. The other thing is having this child. Then if you want to invite the child, you could have the whole family, or you could say, let's get together because you want to be with the thing. But to put him in that position to say you're inviting out his lover, his girlfriend with your child, I mean, that does not cut it so good. Not that he will determine that, because if a woman really want to do something, she will do it. And in spite of what happened after, she don't care what happened after. Most women don't care. They just do what they want to do. But the thing is, if you want peace to be in the home, you make sure that you avoid causing any eruption as possible. So don't put on the string by invite out for lunch and all of that. Invite your child, your child, not the mother.
Why would you invite your child out for Mother's Day? What?
No, because you're going to be with your child, but you don't invite the mother. You give the mother a gift and so on, but not. I don't agree with you taking out the mother. If you want to take out the family, fine. But some men don't agree to that. You have to make sure that the home stay in peace as possible.
Yeah, so peace is walking on eggshells because
this is the thing, right? I believe that
the partner insecure.
I believe that the people who are involved.
It could be insecure too, that could happen to anybody.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. But like, I don't understand when my child father take out my child for Mother's Day.
So you take out your child. You give your gift and you go with your husband and the child or whatever it is. But you got to be careful with these things. Relationships are very tedious.
Yes, and that's why we have conversations, and that's why we have understanding.
Yeah, you have to live with it. You have to live with it. It's how you live with it. Because you must make sure that your partner is comfortable and happy. Both of you going in the same house together.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. But we never said that. We're supposed to just ignore the feelings of our partner.
Yeah, I think they understand. I think he understands what we're saying. What we're saying is that if you feel away because either your present girlfriend is being taken out by her child's dad, or that your present boyfriend is showing appreciation to his child's mom, recognize that comes from a place of insecurity. Nobody's saying that you shouldn't express it.
Agree.
Yeah, so nobody's saying you shouldn't express it. The problem is that we like to feel that it's our responsibility to determine how they should then express that gratitude. That was my problem. It's not your responsibility to decide that.
Those must be taken into consideration. Because it's in existence. You can't ignore it. People feel insecure. And it's true. It's a fact. If it wasn't in existence, you wouldn't even think about it. Because it's in existence, that's why you thought about it. And you say he shouldn't be or she shouldn't be or whatever, who shouldn't be. But at least at the same time, they are. And people don't talk about things, but they keep them there concealed.
Precisely. And that is the problem.
And they become compound. And they use other things to make an argument when other things have nothing to do with it in this foundation that have been set before. And so people got to look at the things that carry weight of the burden of proof. Thanks a lot. Very
all right, man. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. But guys, this is always gonna be one of those things. And I have a
You know
comment
what
here.
happened? This is what happened when people feel like that one people, you know.
That's it,
This is
Jade.
what happened when people feel like people is property.
We need to recognize sometimes where our feelings come from. We don't like people that just be like, oh, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that and you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. Okay, where does that come from? Why is that wrong? It can't be wrong because it make you feel bad. That's the
reason.
That's the reason.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. We have a comment here from Witty, and we'll say it before we move on. Stop babying people's negative behavior under the guise of personal feelings.
What?
Guys, if you are insecure about something, it is fine. You should share that with your partner.
That's fine.
But you have to first recognize where those feelings come from. Now, a lot of times, people go and express how they're feeling, or how they're feeling, making them react. They react to the feelings, right? Without first understanding where those feelings come from and why they're feeling that way. So then when you go to express that to people, right, you don't express it with a clear understanding and you can't communicate properly, right? If something make you feel angry, you approach the person with anger, not recognizing sometimes it might be because of some trauma that you had or some insecurity that you had. Because if you recognize that when you go to communicate, you communicate with an understanding, and it would shift, it would determine the way you express yourself. So hey, nothing going and saying, hey, I admire the relationship you have with your child's mom, and I love the fact that you guys are cool enough and you're able to express this to her in this way. But I'll be honest, like sometimes I feel you're doing a bit much. And it makes me a bit uncomfortable. And you have to have a conversation around that. But don't come and determine like, oh, you're so disrespectful. How you going to say you're going to carry your child mother and thing, and you got me?
Yeah, but
Excuse you?
ma'am, are you a child mother here?
Excuse you, there's a cliff. Can you jump off, please?
Please, because you're doing too much. You're doing it too much.
Way too much. But guys, we're going to have to take a short break because we have our friends from the traffic department in studio with us for Traffic Talk. And we're going to be right back in a few minutes to jump off with that conversation. Stay locked, stay tuned.
Protect your lifestyle with Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tilly Wall with a low reputation and service for second to none. Securing you is our mission. People that you can trust, your business, property, we got you covered. Motor or personal, whatever it is, we got you covered. 130 years in this business, we got you covered. For all your insurance needs, visit or call us at 465-2631 or 469-5303. Dealey Walwyn, people you can trust.
Be careful on the road. Don't make it an episode. Attention all drivers. I'm begging you to slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, down. Too many stunt drivers on the road, man. With the fire day, driver, what's your emergency? It's better late than never. So why all the hurry? Speeding is the main cause of plenty mishaps. The road is now a racetrack, threatening life and property, and all the result of that led to death and injury. Inconsiderate driving, this nonsense need to stop. I'm making it my business to alert all motorists, especially those who love to break traffic laws. I have seen what speed can do. Here I am to your rescue to help you to live. Just take this advice I give. I warn all drivers to take care of episode. How much more tragedy we have to endure to face the reality. Less is safer than more. I'm begging all my friends.
Good morning, guys, and welcome back to Win Media SKN as Jade struggles with the graphics. But guys, as usual. But guys, we are excited because in studio with us, we have Sergeant Henry from the Traffic Department here for Traffic Talk. Sergeant, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Asim. I'm fine, thank you.
Lovely. I'm happy to hear that. And of course, it would be remiss of me to move any further without first wishing you a happy belated Mother's Day.
And thank you. Also want to wish Jade a happy Mother's Day also.
Thank you. Same to you.
Love just shining all over. But but Sergeant, you know, it's always a pleasure when you come in and hit us up. What is it that we're going to be talking about today?
I'll be talking about tint.
Lord have mercy. I was in a good mood, you know. I was in a good mood. I hear them talking. Hey, it's such a good thing.
Well, you talk fast.
Tint. All right, let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
Okay, yes. This morning I'm here to talk about tint. As Asim said, I'm Sergeant Henry from Traffic Department. The reason why I'm talking about tint this morning because we are seeing a lot of vehicles with tint, and not just on the windows, but on the windscreen. And we are governed by laws. This is not just something that the traffic want to get down people's throat for. There are laws and that they were passed in the National Assembly and Parliament. And you talk about the tint. The tint supposed to be 35%. 65% of light supposed to be passing through. And even if you come with a factory tinted vehicle, it doesn't make sense for you to put on tint on it because it's going to carry it down to less than 35. If you check a vehicle that has no tint on it, a vehicle doesn't come 100% clear glass. I've checked it more than once. When you put the tint meter on it, it's going to come like 80-something%, so you know it's not going to come 100%. So if you put a 25% tint on a vehicle, it's going to carry it down to in the teens. So the law states that 35% of tint supposed to go on a vehicle, and if it, as I said earlier, if it comes factory tint, it doesn't make sense for you to put on tint on that. Some people saying, oh, putting on 35. Yes, you're putting on 35 on something that is 20-something% already. And it's going to go down to either 5% or 0. And they're saying, oh, it doesn't have nothing named 0%. But if you put on a 5% on something that is factory tinted, it's going to carry it down. So I'm asking the general public, please, to guide yourself accordingly. The law states that 35% of light, 35% of tint supposed to go on your vehicle, put on 35%. Because if the police stop you, you're going to get a ticket. And the ticket is $150. I'm going to read what the regulation says, 62.1. In this section, restricted motor vehicle mean any motor vehicle other than a motorcycle where the whole or part of the glass of the windscreen, side or rear window or vehicle obscured by either the application of any film or other device or is custom tinted by the manufacturer, that less than 35% of light transmission is possible. So some person put up curtains or they come with the curtains. That's an offense because it's obscuring the view. So I'm asking the persons, the only thing that this is made provision for is hearse or ambulance. And if you want your vehicle to be tinted, you must apply to the Minister of National Security, and we know who the Minister of National Security is. That's the Prime Minister. So if you want your vehicle to be tinted dark, you must apply to the Minister of National Security, and you must have that letter on you when the police pull you over. So I'm asking the general public, please, to be guided accordingly. Any calls right now?
Not at this moment.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've even seen where persons pay $1,000 for a tin ticket, which was $150. They went to the magistrate court. They didn't pay it on time. The case called up, and they were fined $1,000.
I hear you. That's a lot of money.
Yes. For $150, you had to pay $850 more.
What is your advice to persons who, for some reason that at least they consider legitimate, would have applied to the Minister of National Security? There have been no positive response, and based on prior experience figure, honestly, the $150 cheaper than replacing my glass window.
But $150, remember, just $1,000 you have to pay if you don't
Still
pay
cheaper.
it. It's still cheaper? No, but why we go against what is put there? Yes, some people saying, oh, I have my speakers in there. You put it in there so you want your vehicle to be broken if you say that. But the thing is even if you put on tint.
What?
That's
No.
like, that's like telling a lady who wears short skirt, she was asking for it, right?
No. What I'm saying, even if you put on tint on it, the criminal don't care. If
But
they-
how they could see we were in there if
it doesn't matter. It doesn't. They don't have to see what's in there.
Well, according
Sometimes
to my
you have things
understanding,
to hide. That's where you put it up. That's what I will say.
no, according to my understanding, most break-ins tend to be crimes of opportunity. It's not necessarily that the criminal just walk out, oh, that car there, I'm just going to break into it. Normally, there's something that sparks the interest, and they take the opportunity to think. That's not your understanding?
No, I've seen things where people just break people.
Not saying that other things don't happen, but most break-ins don't be somebody passing, they see something and break in the car.
Not all the time.
Again, not all the time. I'm
No.
saying, in your understanding, most times, it's not a matter that the person sees something and takes the opportunity to steal from the car. No?
Not most of the time, no.
So what generally sparks? So then in that case, then what you're saying is that we should just expect cars to be broken into?
No, I'm not saying that. But some
You
persons
got to be
just
one of the
break in
two.
people's vehicle because they want to.
But you got to be one of the
Okay,
two?
but the
No,
police
because-
vehicles are tinted. Okay, the police vehicles are tinted, and I'm not talking about like the marked police cars that somebody could see a police car and know it's a police car. Do you find that break-ins happen more to those cars than the regular police cars, the tinted ones?
Well, I can't say I haven't heard of any vehicle broken into. I can't say.
Okay.
All right.
And remember, nobody's above the law, okay?
Yeah, but laws can change as well,
Yeah,
right?
laws can change, and that's why they're saying if you want your thing to be done legally, you apply to the Minister of National Security.
No, that's within the law now. I think what I'm getting at is that a lot of times laws are put in place and then we have, of course, you have a responsibility as a police to then enforce those laws.
Yes.
The issue is that sometimes the laws that are put in place do not always speak to the specific situation in the territory in which they were implemented. And so when you hear constant calls from the populace about a certain law, right? Or there may also just be a change in culture. Society may move on. All these reasons call for the changing of laws. I think one of the issues that I have with this is that, of course, as the police, your job is to enforce and your job is to say this is the law and thing. So I'm not speaking specifically to the police in this case. But the policy makers, I think that sometimes it's just stubbornness or lack of political will to listen to what people are saying. I mean, sometimes when I hear the police trying to justify some of these things, it just be like, okay, you have to justify it, so you just have to do it. But it doesn't translate to what we're seeing on the ground. A lot of times people get so upset about the tint situation because there seems to be a real effort on the police to enforce this law, when the sad part is that the persons on the ground who are the ones being stopped, being the ones who are asked to take up the tint, whatever, feel as though there are other infringements of the law that should take priority. And I think that's where a lot of the the pushback and anything come, because there's just a feeling that like nobody listening. Apart from the fact that people may not agree with the reasons that are given for why the laws exist.
Yeah.
People feel that the amount of energy that is expended by the police department to enforce this particular law, right? And the of course the fallout from persons not complying with the law don't really fall too high on the priority list. When we see all the accidents that are happening, when we see all these things that are happening that are directly related to traffic, a lot of times we don't see the proper amount of energy being given to try and deal with some of those infringements. And so I think that's where some of the pushback does come from. Now we have somebody trying to join in on the call. Good morning on the show. Good morning, caller. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Everyone. And Azim, I agree with you 100%. And thank God that, you have someone like you who has experienced these type of things and others. And something I also would like to mention too, like in terms of especially officers that I know, and I could call their numbers, where vehicles are very heavily tinted, their own personal vehicles, and even have on those flashy lights like the ambulance. I also see, I even have the numbers right down, but sorry, they're in my other vehicle. We are police vehicle, back legs is not working, mash up. They don't have no indicator light or brake light, and they're still driving like, who does inspect these things here? Not knocking on just officers alone, but other people does the same thing too. But to me, only they feel it other than the people who make the law and not feeling it. I just see them driving even past the police station regularly and there's nothing. So, I don't even understand, when we make these kind of things and we come in on the radio every day talking about these things and the same person breaking the law, where do we go from here? That is my 2 cents today.
Yes, caller, you say police officer's vehicle, that's private vehicle. As I said earlier, no one is above the law. I've stopped police officers who tint are dark. They get a ticket and they have to remove the tint. So is nobody above the law when I am out there.
Right. We have someone else trying to join the conversation. Good morning, caller. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I endorse the host's comments on the issue. And there are two issues I'd like to bring up this morning. One, some weeks ago you told us that the international standards regarding the placing of signs was 8 feet above the ground. None of those signs that went in with regards to the new traffic lights have been adjusted, even though a number of them clearly are below 8 feet. And maybe the attitude is people will get accustomed to it. So if you break the law, if you, the police department / public works, break the law in the way you put up these signs, who is going to charge you? My second item is not the police department, but since you are the people who we have access to on a weekly basis, I raise it with you because you then get involved. Around the Island Main Road, we have a number of places where works have been done, where the road has been dug up in large squares and rectangles and left for many days, in some cases weeks. Just outside of Basti, in the vicinity of the water department, there's such a road hazard. It's been there over 3 weeks now. And what is it going to cause? Someone slamming on the brakes, suddenly not realizing it is there. Someone runs into them from the back. Or oncoming traffic, they choose to drive around it to avoid it, and there's a mishap. These are all around the Island Main Road. There was one in Keys that was there for over 2.5 months. Could we find out what is the reason why these roadworks are being digging up the recently paved roads and left resurfaced, and not days at a time, weeks at a time? The one comment I would make on this, if those roadworks had been done on Church Street, they would not have lasted 3 days, much less 3 weeks. But somehow, the general motoring public must suffer the inconvenience of damage to their suspensions and other things when having to avoid these roadworks. Would you use your kind office to bring it to the Public Works Department that they're creating road hazards? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carlo. Your observation are noted, and I will take it to the relevant persons.
Yeah, no more calls at this moment. But just moving the conversation forward, if someone is stopped by a police officer because of their tint, could you inform us as to exactly what the options are for the officer at that time in terms of dealing with that situation?
Okay. When someone is stopped by an officer, they have options, as you say. We can ask the person to remove the tint. We can also give them a ticket. Some persons will be lenient, some will go by the book.
Right.
So if you're lenient, but sometimes you're being lenient with the person and they're very irate to you, what you think you're going to do?
Mm-hmm.
You stay cool and calm and you do what you have to do.
Right.
So if I'm going to tell you just take off the tint and you're irate and you're going on what's not, I'm going to stay cool and calm still, and I'll do what I have to do. You take off the tint, and you get the ticket. And if you don't remove the tint and you give trouble as obstruction, you can be arrested for that, and your vehicle will be impounded. And you're not going to get it back until you remove the tint. So there are many ways we can deal with that. You either remove the tint one time. If you don't, then the vehicle will be impounded. Some people say, okay, officer is not my vehicle. I just borrowed the vehicle from someone. I say, okay, I give you such and such a time to bring back the vehicle for inspection. Some people don't, so if you see them on the road again, you make them take it off one time.
Mm-hmm. All right. We have some callers trying to come in. Good morning, caller. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sergeant Henry.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Amen. Sergeant Henry, when you're coming from down by the Varsity High School there, the Girl Guys Road, coming up there?
Yes.
Right there in the junction, maybe Challenge Primary. You know where the corner is by the pump. Sometimes people coming up there on the left-hand side and they see a vehicle coming down, so they have to stop because the space is very small and let the other vehicle come down. You know what I see last week? Somebody slowed down to do that. And this bus driver come round. Sergeant Henry, he almost come in my gate. With one speed, everybody hold their head and scream. You understand? In this corner, this is going to be the last time I'm coming on the radio and talk about it. We have 3 schools in this area, and my God, these drivers don't know how to drive. They're just driving because they have a auxiliary thing to press the gas, and they're just not reading the road. They're just not concentrating. And we're going to have a serious accident, and somebody's going to get killed. My God, I'm asking you, and I could only do such, but I'm begging you, I'm pleading to you, please put a speed bump or something in that corner. You know what I'm speaking about. It's a dangerous piece of corner, and everybody coming around there, I don't know, me wall ain't don't get knocked down a million times. A serious accident is going to take place there, and God forbid, I hope no children get involved in it. You understand? It's scary. Every day I sit there and I watch these drivers come. My God, they are not using the road. They are not using the road properly. And I'm not going to bash the police, but I think they need to come in the rural areas, stick out themselves, and give these people tickets. You know, the other day, a police driver, police tell me the enemy sent me. I said, what are you doing on this side of the street? I said, you're supposed to be out there. He said, in the wrong business. He going to bring the application and give me. I said, I could summons you. I said, I could summons you. And police telling me this, I'm in the wrong business. They're going to bring me an application. You know, this is ignorance. You're supposed to live by example. And if I saw you do it, I say it's wrong, but still, you do it, I could do it. Monkey see, monkey do. You know, so in this area, you clearly know what I'm speaking about. Please, I'm begging you, I don't have a horse in the race. My children are not here. But I love other people's children, so please, do me a favor, either put a speed bump to slop these crazy people I got in this place, or a mirror. Have a good day, Miss Henry. Bye-bye.
Thank you, caller, for your observation and your concern. And I know what you're talking about, so. And I've looked into that several times.
Yeah, I think one of the other things too, one of the other places that concern, just because the caller brought it up, is right there in Connery, by the preschool. That one there does, yeah, I don't know if you need to put a school zone sign there. I think that might be a first step. Just putting up a sign letting people know it's a school zone, so you need to slow down. I realize we don't put up the school zone sign where the big people who lighter than us be, but we don't put it up where we want people to be. So maybe we need to put one right there. Good morning, caller. You're live on Traffic Talk. What's up? Lost a caller, but we have someone else trying to get back in. Good morning, caller. You're live on LNT. What's up?
Good morning. Sarge,
Good morning.
how do you do? Listen, the number of drivers who disobey the law with respect to tint, it's staggering. And I do not believe they do so because it is ignorance of the law. I believe that they are fully aware that it is illegal to do so, and they are also aware of the penalties. So my question to you is, why do you think this happens so regularly, so often by so many people? What do you think is the reason why so many drivers continually flout the law with respect to tinting? Is it contempt of the law? Is it disrespect for the police? Is it sheer selfishness? I would like you, Sergeant, to give me an idea as to why do you think so many people, so very many drivers and owners of vehicles simply continue to disobey the law with respect to tinting. Thank you.
Good morning, caller. I cannot say why people do that because
So they
I'm
never
not
tell
in
you?
their mind.
No, but they would have told you when they pulled them over,
Well, some
Sarge.
people will say, okay, the son.
Yeah,
But he's
okay.
saying why I think so.
But what would you have heard in your
Okay,
interaction
what I've
with?
heard
yeah.
is that people saying, oh, the son, or I have the speaker in my vehicle, or I carry a large sum of money. So, you know.
So
you don't
So
think
that's
those
why
would
I
be-
told them. Well, that's why I told them
Okay.
to go and apply to the Minister of National Security. I cannot tell them to leave it on. Because even if I tell them to leave it on, the next police meet them down the road.
So-
What they going to say, Sergeant Henry?
So generally,
No, I cannot give them permission.
So generally, what you've been told is that they are trying to protect the contents of the vehicle, whether it is themselves or other valuables.
Yes. So I told them,
Imagine that.
well, I tell them what to do. I cannot give them the permission because I'm only a sergeant.
Yeah, you see, one of the issues that I have with a lot of these things is that they always go, well, you have a avenue, right? You have an avenue to go through. The problem is that the avenue generally does not have any real guidelines or anything. It just says, basically, it's left up to the discretion of somebody. And the problem with that is, well, I don't know what side of the bed you wake up on today. I don't know if you and my father got a problem, may not. And so I think when we start doing that, it almost feels like a cop-out. Because if the case was, here's the avenue by which you can go along, then you should be able to tell me these are the requirements that you would have to fulfill to then be eligible. And those things aren't forthcoming. And so it feels as though it's just another send you down a rabbit hole, waste of time, excuse. And I think that is why people just don't even bother.
Yeah, but if you put your request in writing and you tell them what?
What we're saying is that if the case is that this is the avenue, the problem is then the issue is take the decision out of the hands of one particular person and set up guidelines by which you are then eligible for the concession. All right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's not usual. That's why a lot of people don't apply, because when you apply, no matter what your reason is, no.
And then you can't question it because
No.
there's no requirements. And I think that is poor. But have a last caller because time is fast spent. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T with Traffic Talk. What's up?
Jay, I hope you had a good day yesterday. I did in a quiet way. I miss Sergeant, your girl, Burnett, here listening to you. Yes. I want to know, Miss Henry, why these things are happening, think it's only St. Christopher? Why you all letting people have those speakers in the car tire? It's supposed to be forbidden. Mr. John was still alive, that would have never happened. You're doing a good job, it look like, but it's not supposed to be. You all pull them up and the tinting again. Miss Henry, when sometimes I look in the car, I can't even say if we gunman. She like to talk on a sheriff and he have better shoot her. I can't see the person point the gun at me. So I'm glad you all step up with the tinting again. Take it off. You could be going with somebody, young person, young daughter, and the person wrangling for help, and a passerby could try to assist and show that it's gone for naught. Don't hear me saying really, but no one in your project, you know that? Buckley's development. Going up by Alawi side here. And let me tell you, the second road I live on, coming up. Miss Henry, this is look like, forget the main road. I live up here by the water tank, we don't call it the
dam.
Your dam, yeah. Miss Henry, tell them here's the support my little grandchild. I have a little grandchild for my granddaughter, for my granddaughter holding. And I miss the little child to me, look out the road. He don't clean up the little. I don't know, in a Sunday just second cross if forget my road. One time I had my little grandchild down there, boat away in there, down in the back front, the Irish town. When him noticed the little child step outside, it's a neighbor, somebody passerby got to call us, who this little child belongs to, come for the little boy. Also, Miss Summer can get away from us, the big one inside, which is his brother. We noticed the little one slip outside. Miss Henry tell them, cross, it's not no forget the road here and no racetrack. We need to build a special racetrack for them. And you have a good, I hope you had a good Mother's Day yesterday.
Yes, I
You
did.
all right?
Yes, I am.
You sound good. Keep it up.
Thank you. Yeah, but that is a built-up area and nobody's supposed to be speeding. The speed limit in the built-up areas are 20 miles. Yes, I'm not saying that your child shouldn't be outside, but you're also supposed to look after the child. Make sure you have a gate to secure the child in. Because if it's a young child, children very obstinate.
So maybe they just don't understand the dangers that time.
Right, but then make sure you have a gate to keep the child inside. Not something that they can open to get out. But people should not supposed to be speeding in built-up areas. 20 miles is 20 miles. And a lot of houses across there, you don't know. Some they say when you see a ball, make sure you look because a child might be running across. So when you're driving, make sure you look for children. I just want to close by telling the motorists, also those who like to put graffiti or signs on the back of the vehicle, it's an offense. You're not supposed to be advertising nothing on the back of your vehicle. If you want to advertise, you put it on the side of your vehicle, not on the windscreen, because it's an offense. Also, it was passed last year that tint on the front of the windscreen should not be more than 10 inches down. And it must be 35% on the front of the windscreen. Not 0, not 20%. It's supposed to be 35, and the longest you can get it is 10 inches down. Anything longer than that, it's an offense. I've seen people have the whole windscreen tinted, dark. So I'm asking y'all please to be guided accordingly and please to abide by the law. I'll stop here for now and I'll see y'all next week. Same time, same place. I want to thank Delil Walwyn for the sponsor, and I want to thank the callers for the concern, the queries, and the observation. Thank you all, and I'll see you all next week.
Be careful on the road. Don't make it an episode. drivers. I'm begging you to
Protect your lifestyle with Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Till you walk with a low reputation and service for second to none. Securing you is our mission. People that you can trust, your business property, we got you covered. Motor or personal, whatever it is, we got you covered. 130 years in this business, we've got you covered. For all your insurance needs, visit or call us at 465-2631 or 469-5303. Delia Walwyn, people you can trust.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Here are your Horsford's Value Mart IGA Value Club Meal Tax Specials from May 5th through 18th. IGA peanut butter, just $8.99. IGA or Essential Everyday Microwave Popcorn, $5.99. Quaker Oats, regular and quick, $13.99. Philadelphia cream cheese, $12.99. Morning Star meatless entrees, $18.99. Suavitel fabric softener, $16.99. And now our very low weekly
value deals. IGA Essential Everyday Cornflakes, $7.99. Essential Everyday Barbecue Sauces, $6.99. Essential Everyday Ketchup, $4.49. Equaline Mouthwash, $13.99. Essential Everyday Apple Juice, $7.99. Arm & Hammer Liquid Detergent, $31.99. Shop smart, shop value man. Tell them in Spanish.
Sea listo. Y haga sus compras aquí a
Value Mart.
Good morning, guys, and welcome back to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. It is Monday, May 9th, and we are bubbling along nicely. This morning, we've spoken about purple people believing.
Purple people?
Yeah, purple people believing that it's their responsibility to determine how people show gratitude to others. And we've also spoken about the fact that people believe it is their responsibility to determine how people should treat their own private property, in this case, their cars. But
crazy, isn't it?
Anyway.
Me on a case, I hush.
And guys,
I tell me how to tip me for them.
Guys, I can tell you something. As Nuts Lady said, if you're going to kidnap somebody's child, I mean, probably better to do it in a tinted vehicle, apparently. Right.
Yeah, than a suspicious van. A van would be a little suspicious for them.
You know.
But a tinted vehicle, better. But you know.
Bye.
So you go. Anyway, it is what as
tea time.
All right. Well, wait, did I even come up so? So it is. Oh, that's why. Okay. Yeah, so let's start with something that we haven't spoken about in a very long time, thankfully. Are we only doing it because we have to?
What's happening?
We have about 25 active cases in our beautiful federation.
So they know there.
Well, when I say federation, I only mean say it.
Oh, all them over here?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Hey, some of the conspiracy theories about these cases of crap we up, eh?
What's the latest on that?
The latest on the conspiracy theory?
Yeah. May hear one in a while.
You hear one in a while? The latest conspiracy theory that I've heard
Alloy, go ahead, and I'm sure it's the same one.
is that Timo fudging the numbers so that we could go back into a lockdown for election.
I know. I know. Say what I heard. I said, how would that make sense? Why would that make sense?
Okay, what the last time they said?
All right, well.
Gotta love it.
Gotta love it, boy.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, well, that's it. Y'all know the usual. Maybe even about to tell y'all wear a mask. That they out there doing about to wear the mask no more. COVID is here to stay. Cases gonna rise and drop. Y'all just be safe.
At what number do you start changing your behavior? Remember we had this conversation last time.
There's no more numbers as in.
So if we get to 200 cases,
you just have 200 cases?
You ain't wearing your mask no more.
No, I can wait.
But that's what I mean. Like change you. Like change.
I would slay back on.
But that's what I'm saying. At what number do you go? Okay, let me change my behavior a little bit.
Maybe back on that. So I out here wailing. Maybe about 200.
About 200?
Yeah. I out here wailing out a little bit too much. I know, maybe like 50.
Once we hit 50. Okay, that's tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true. Well.
No, and I think that's a decision that all of us have to kind of make, right?
Yeah, like what is our mass point?
I just what determines the differences in our reactions. Because, for instance, you know, you might say, well, if we hit 75 cases, I put him back on my mask. I can't deal with that there.
I may want to be 76.
I don't want to. You know, some people might have different thresholds. Maybe they have persons who are at risk, you know, living with, you know, grandparents, somebody with a pre-existing condition, you know, something like that. Some other kind of comorbidity, something like that. Some people might decide, okay, well, you know, I'll put on my mask, but I'm still moving around. There, you know, someone might walk up by 250, but that's it. But I ain't going nowhere, I'm staying home.
I ain't see somebody say 800, my mothers. So high number, by 800.
Yeah, 800.
Well, if that's you, listen.
We've been there. We've been there.
True. I wear my mask. I don't want to be in the 5.
Yeah, and that's it. Okay, I'll give you an example. I went to I was in St. Thomas, right? Well, ain't nothing no mask, nothing up there. Carnival going on. I just watching. I up on the stage and I watching down in the crowd, and I just watching COVID just move from bumper to bumper. It's move from bumper to bumper.
The quick little jig and go.
You know, and I put my mask, and nobody watching you funny because you got your mask. So everybody understand why you're wearing your mask, you know, and then like it's just that I think people just fed up.
Yeah, long time as him.
People fed up, and not only that, I think the other big thing that people need to recognize is that a lot of the fear, the initial fear that surrounded COVID has dissipated, whether because people feel they have a level of protection because of the vaccine or because they have already had COVID. And so that level of fear dissipated, or they just see that everybody had COVID, and that, you know, their perspective based on their experience is, nah, you understand?
Ain't that bad.
Right. So.
Ain't that bad for someone, yo.
Right, but that's what I'm saying, based on the experience.
Yeah.
Right, and what they would have witnessed. A lot of people may not have had persons close to them who might have like had a serious illness.
And even with that, they still ain't kill.
Again, some of them, it might be 1 in 50 of the people that you know who had it, who had a serious thing, and you might walk out, well, the reason why that person had serious illness is because they were obese, they were older, they had asthma, whatever it is. So people, based on your experiences, you're taking away, you know, you're coming away with a certain viewpoint, and so that's going to affect your behavior. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what the science is saying, because remember, we always directed by the science, apparently. Even though the science seems to be changing all the time. But it'll be interesting to see what the authorities say. Right? you know, if you are a conspiracy theorist, then you'd believe that there's not a lot of restrictions coming because we just a little more than we're just a little under 2 months away from
Music festival.
And so nobody really anticipating that we're going to see any serious measures being put in place as a result of the rising cases. So, you know, but hey, you could say everybody vaccinated and party hearty. So, you know, it give me interesting to see how we deal with this now as opposed to things. Because I don't think a lot of people recognize what's happening in China. You realize China, like, on a lockdown that we have never seen.
Some people
like, it's so bad.
People
committing suicide, that's because they have nothing to eat. They have these people they call in white cloaks. Like, people in the hazmat suits, like, literally in, like, cities to make sure nobody come out the house. And beating people and so with sticks and so.
It sounds like one of the movies we watch.
Yep. I
don't remember which one.
It sounds like it sounds like a lot of the dystopian type movies that we've spoken about.
Yeah.
People went into lockdown, not knowing how long the lockdown was gonna be, and so they've run out of food. Like I saw a video of the entire city, like a city, everybody's just screaming. Like the whole city, like all the city blocks, the whole city just screaming.
I'm gonna lie you.
Like,
I appreciate the fact that I live in a small country where we don't have these things happening. Because that sounds like a nightmare. That sounds like somebody dreamt up that nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
And now thousands of people living it. I cannot imagine that as him. I cannot imagine being in a house and running out of food. And not being able to leave food.
Yeah, and nobody bringing nothing.
Nobody, you just, what?
And not only that, you're watching people outside. You're watching people outside, standing up and just watching your like starve.
Yeah, that's insane. That has to be a crime against humanity.
But the funny thing about it for me is that, well, if everybody lock up, nobody could move. How this thing spreading? Hey, the same people are walking up and down outside?
Clearly. The white clothes.
Oh, and also some places they're doing daily testing now. Like you have to go and do a daily test. Like they come to your door and do a daily test every day. Now my thing is, if I in here can't move for the last 2 weeks.
Why I need to do a daily test? Who are coming in contact with if I lock me down? That's not the reason for a lockdown to buy. Anyway, all right.
Yeah, so I think people need to recognize that things ain't all just peachy right now.
No.
I
think we live in this bubble where we feel it because things aren't happening to us. It's not happening to the rest of the world, or the rest of the world isn't important, or, you know, out of sight, out of mind kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody saying, what? Listen, between now and Independence, the straight partying. Here we got International Cricket Music Fest, CPL, Culturama Facts. Then waiting to, don't forget Independence. Then going straight into Carnival. Yeah. Since Carnival in St. Thomas, COVID cases have risen above 800.
Yeah, it was crazy. A couple of people who I work with, like, or 4 of them, catch COVID. No, I am a match, Jane. And I don't work in a different department.
And I see a little bubble thing.
Yeah. And on top of that, I had to do like 2 tests in the past like 48 hours. So.
Yeah, man, you're good.
All right, but
somebody said, yeah, I got a business partner there in one of those cities. He did tell me the videos wasn't recent, but it did happen earlier. And yes, being under lockdown was crazy. Again, we're going to see the side effects of people being locked down for a long period of time.
People jumping from the windows.
Yeah.
People literally jumping from the windows.
They'd rather be dead than be locked down.
Because they in their house, they ain't got nothing to eat, Jade, and they can't leave.
Yeah, that would make me jump out the window too. Being gonna lie. That's crazy. Bye. The world we're living by. Anyway, let's go back into a little bubble. With more developments in politics.
Sweet SKB.
So, veteran politician Eugene Hamilton withdraws as candidate for PAM.
Yeah.
I know. Cannot believe it. Constituency 8 representative and long-serving politician Eugene Hamilton will not contest another general election on a People's Action Movement slate of candidates.
What you saying?
Side note, this man in politics long bad, you know?
Yeah.
Like a long bad, you know?
Yeah.
Me mother's here, bye. I saw a picture, an old picture of Pam, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's the only one still there, you know? Out of 8 candidates, he was the only one still there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chairman of PAM, Honorable Jonel Powell, JP2, confirmed Mr. Hamilton's decision on May 7th. Mr. Hamilton has indicated to the political leader and myself that he has no intention of running for another general elections, Powell said. PAM has begun its search in earnest for Hamilton's replacement as they continue preparations for a national election, which many feel is likely to be called in the coming weeks. We are just wrapping up that process, not just for constituency 8, but for those constituencies which we have not fielded candidates in the last 2 elections. And we will be announcing our full slate of candidates for all 8 constituencies, said Mr. Powell. Powell told WinFM that Eugene Hamilton remains on the national executive of the People's Action Movement and has indicated that he will support his successor. You think that make him quit because he said that what they're doing make no sense to him?
Nah.
I just want to shout out there. I don't know why.
Nah, I don't think so. I think Minister Hamilton has been, like you were saying earlier, involved in politics for quite some time.
For a long time, man.
And I think that
probably tired and fed up.
Yeah, perhaps not even tired and fed up, but perhaps just looking to do something different, move
Become an
forward. Who knows? Who knows what's next for him?
But you see, the ambassador's doing a U-turn.
But let's see. For me, what happened? It speaks to the fact, like the way it happened.
Mm-hmm.
It speaks to the fact that all might not have been peachy in paradise. Apart from the letter.
Well, who thought that?
What I'm saying is, apart from the letter that he put out, you would have wanted to see maybe a smoother transition where they would have known ahead of time that hey, guys, I'm gonna move on, but either this is who I'm thinking could carry the torch forward, or let us begin the process and have that completed before I announce my decision.
The optics, man.
Yeah, the optics, again, a lot of times it's just the messaging, the way things are brought forward. That does really, that does really make people question what's going on. I mean, the letter was pretty jarring.
The man said, oh, sure, I wanted this boy.
Yeah, it didn't seem like he was in support.
Listen, man, boy, but I feel like we shouldn't do this, eh? I feel like what y'all doing here make no sense to me, and I don't feel like the outcome that y'all want is what's going to happen. But hey, if I want to do it. I'm just saying, me personally, I wouldn't do it.
But I don't, but as was said in the article, you see, it's not necessarily that he's distancing himself from the party. He seems to just, not be interested in running for, as to be a representative, but he still is involved in the party and in some way. So, hey, whatever he chooses to do next, more power to him.
Indeed.
And wish him all the best there. But this is the thing, Jade. One would have hoped that with the requests, or let's say the letter that was sent to the GG, and that was signed by so many of the same present PAM reps, that they would have anticipated that one of the possible outcomes of this would be elections.
Yeah, man.
It may have behooved them to then, prior to making that move, to have the new candidates, or the candidates that they intend to field in the new in the other constituencies, which they have not fielded candidates in the last 2 elections, to have them identified and ready to go. It seems as though that may not have been the case, and then you kind of have to ask yourself, is like, what going on? You know what I mean? No, I am not involved.
Who ain't having those problems? I can tell you right now who ain't having the problems. Mary, like, so that you look like they're ready.
Let me tell you something, right, Jade?
In St. Kitts, me know what happening in Nevis. Because ever since this whole emotional confidence thing, somebody gone quiet. But
yeah, but the thing about it is, for me, Labour seemed prepared.
So I tell you, total tree.
Labour seemed prepared because we saw, and I think it was very strategic, the launch of their candidates, the slate, with 8 candidates, right? All of the seats in St. Christopher, being contested by the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, and one would have wanted to believe that something similar would have come from the People's Action Movement. That has not happened as yet.
They've been here long,
and let's be honest. You're hearing all the speculations. We saw a report. I think it's yesterday. I saw it about a gentleman who would have put his would have made it public that he has intentions.
So
of.
wait, let me ask you a question.
So I don't know.
They put the picture that we see with the person who is trying to put his best foot forward. He is actually one who he's not a part.
A part of what?
The party.
I think he might be a member of the party. I don't know of his status.
Because
I don't know
from a graphic standpoint, if I see that graphic, I can assume that this person is a sure one.
From the graphic, but I don't know who do the graphics. I read it.
Oh, y'all just got.
Yeah, they just pop things. Yeah, people just pop things. People just pop things.
But from this party, because I don't see no graphics from the other party,
Yes, but what I'm saying is, people have begun to say, "Hey, I would be interested in,
running
and things like that." But I would have wanted to believe that, hey, if we going down this road, guys, let us prepare.
You do realize that PAM and PLP have fully launched their slate, and they are the two technically in government. PAM ain't fully launched then.
Gawain, could you please tell us who the candidates are for the?
He clearly knows on that way,
I don't know who they are.
Neither me.
I don't know who they are.
Hey, should I came here? She messaged me. Who are you talking about?
The graphic. It was on one of the.
It's on.
One of them pseudo news sites, like one of them pseudo news Facebook pages. Y'all probably know which one. And there's an article which is speaking to
I should the person for this make the graphic.
Of course, Jade.
Of course.
Walking waste man.
Oh, the mothers.
But he like, yeah. So they're saying that there's a person who is
potentially
a potential candidate for the seat in 8. Right.
Oh, there's the former chairman.
Yeah. So.
What's his name? Oh. Can we say his name?
Yeah, I mean, it's an article. We're just referencing the article.
Valentine Lindsay.
Yeah. No,
Lindsay.
Bear in mind, nobody's saying this is who's running.
It's alleged.
What is being said that he has expressed interest, which I think is cool because the People's Action Movement would then have a process by which they determine who they're gonna show their support behind, right? So. Yeah, so we got to wait and see. But like I'm saying, I would have thought that, hey, if you know this is one of the possible outcomes, then you need to
be ready. Your girl can't be causing all of this and then be ready. That is ridiculous. Y'all say y'all want this, So how y'all not ready for something that y'all ask for? That don't make sense to me.
You must anticipate. You must have anticipated this might have been a possible outcome. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up? Oh, last one. But I guess everybody now trying to get prepared, trying to get the ducks in a row. And we have to wait and see how the ducks actually line up. All 8 ducks.
Have the duck them quacking?
Good morning, caller. You're live on LNT. What's up?
Yeah, look at me. She said, with the duck them quacking. Answer something, last week I calling, Lord, you talk right down to the wire. I say, you want to give me a little girl.
Oh, Lord,
no. A little thing,
Oh, Lord, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I said, Lord, I will have an issue. Yeah. Let me ask you something as a little reporter. You let the government, the people that work on a Sunday? Because I got a thing here about a red car parked up by the electoral office yesterday, so two people sent it to me, so I just want to know is any idea you have that government workers work on a Sunday? I don't know, yeah, I don't work.
Well, I don't know who the car belong to, what the car was doing.
My mother here.
I don't know.
A lady named the begin with a dad, you got to love the rest. Initial B or B some BM or B something or the other.
Well,
Yeah, something smelling
maybe
fishy.
just a free parking space there.
Election coming on a Sunday.
You never forget that in your office and have to go for it on a Sunday?
No, that looks suspicious because...
It looks suspicious because you want it to look suspicious.
Yeah, that looks suspicious because I never on a Sunday for the over the 5 years whose time they in I seen
You are only saying this now because you are speculating the election is coming. She could have been doing this every Sunday straight, but because this Sunday is one of the Sundays where you all realize and you have the election coming, you all say it looks suspicious.
I'm being joking. Election coming. I'm being
Everything about to look suspicious now with him.
Everything looks suspicious.
Everything about to be
Jade,
suspicious.
I am planning to just wear black until election done.
Me too, you know?
Because one day
No,
I
I gonna just wear all the colors them. I gonna just confuse all you.
Oh, you just confuse them?
Yeah, I wear all one day I gonna wear red. Next day I gonna wear like a blue. I have orange one. And I get orange something.
You got a lot of blue. I got red shoes, but I don't wear maroon, so maybe that's close enough. I don't know.
You know, it's something bright red, blood red. I got a yellow shirt.
Dude,
I'm almost there, you know.
I can't even wear white because they might say white is something. I don't know. Like, y'all making it difficult for me to even just pull clothes up my wardrobe.
Well, that mean I am gonna stop before I wear what I want to wear. You know, I can say what I want, but I gonna wear my clothes. I would never subscribe to that. Oh, me wearing this because me want people label me as this. I don't care at all. So if today I feel like putting on a bright orange shirt, I'm wearing it. If tomorrow I feel like putting on a bright red shirt, I'm wearing it. Because it's my clothes that I prefer.
And I fully support you.
Okay.
You know, all your endeavors.
Thank you.
All your wardrobe decisions.
You better believe it.
I'm right there with you.
You better believe it.
Hey, Witty, bring up something there that I feel nobody really talking about.
Which one?
Witty say, who vex, pay me to vote. No, the thing about it is...
Stop encouraging that behavior, mine.
No, but Jade, I think this is something that needs to be said. And I'd be listening to... Not a lot, but I might have missed it. But one of the things that I feel when people discussing who going to win and what the support is like and who going to vote for what and the things that are going to determine the election, when nobody just want to stop playing and say whichever party spend the most money in the rightest ways.
But that's how all elections are won.
And I don't realize people that talk about this issue.
Yeah, I think people over here voting for the democracy and the best of the country are going to be crazy.
Unfortunately, who spends the most money in the best ways probably got a good chance. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up? People like they're afraid to say it.
I don't know why. I know that's the truth. All of us know it's the truth.
People like they're just afraid to say money does run.
Spend the most in the best ways.
Some of these candidates here, depending on they would run for anybody. Who come with the biggest shit? But anyway, good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up?
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, darling. What's up with you this morning, girl?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. You hear what I tell you the other day, right? When people chat, you chat them back.
Yes. I hope you've been doing that again.
Yes, but I hear you talking about Eugene, but maybe the letter Eugene wrote to them, maybe that could be a part where you see he stepped down because he's saying everybody don't like what's going on. Even he supports some of the supporters, them and up to now, they still want to know what's going on. You understand?
Right.
He might have his ways. All of them had a ways. Whether you do something small or great, when you have to look at it, I'm going better than Sabo. All of them have faults. You understand?
Right.
Every one of them have faults. And if they're going to write a letter and say they're disappointed in the Prime Minister, some of the voters out there who support them, they're disappointed in what's going on too.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So, only you're going to say, the powers lie in the voters' hands. I never see Bali go yet, but I would like to see a part of saying if Bali will go after the election.
Right,
because
interesting.
everybody come.
Yeah.
Everybody, ever you say so?
I say it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be interesting because up to now, up to now people still complaining they know what's going on. If you're gonna call and you're gonna say, okay, Prime Minister doing good, it's a whole cabinet. They're gonna say, oh, it's a whole cabinet. You say you're praising one person. But when things going on in the cabinet wrong, one person must take the blame. All of them, you understand what I'm saying?
Right,
You can't
right,
blame
right.
one person when things going on, when people praising, you still have problems. Every one of them have fault. Abba is better than Sabo. And we're going to have to look and see the outcome of the election because everybody complaining. And to me, this ain't called for. It ain't called for at all. They could have let it run off the course with it full to term and see how we walk out there. But everybody confused now. But Timothy had his ways. And if you have to add it all up, they had a problem 2010 when three of the PAM candidates had to leave PAM party. They said Timothy Douglas move out him. Well, all of them have fault. Abba better than Saba. Every one of them have fault, miss. If you check it out. Some of them gonna point fingers on you, but Abba can't point fingers at Saba right now because all of them make mistakes in life. Nobody perfect in life. Not a mortal perfect. But you know, you gotta look and see how this election going because things were going good. It's the best thing that happened to think it's needed. I've been around PAM for all of my life. I'm 60 plus years, and I never vote for next party but PAM. And you're going to see how we grow.
Yeah.
PAM, that's a party who I love to my heart, but what they do and what's going on, everybody's disappointed. And people must understand, do not vex with people. Nobody just get up and going to vote to Timothy after to Timothy. Timothy Harris to join with PAM. He was between the two parties, PAM and Labour, and he saw PAM well and Labour well. And if Timothy have to lose, things gonna change. And if Timothy continue, everything gonna be the same because he ain't gonna victimize nobody. He saw between the two parties right now, Labour and PAM. You know, and people don't understand that. He saw PAM well, he do a lot for PAM. And people must be ungrateful, man. He got his ways, yes, but come on. You gotta look at the good time. All of us jumped away from in 2016. Now they want to throw him under the bus. Ain't gonna go under the bus alone.
Yeah, understood.
Right.
Thank you so much. Well, I mean, I think people have different views on what's happening, and
That's interesting, though.
Jade, let me ask you a question. Generally, do you believe that persons are pleased with the way things have been running?
Why? You're crazy.
No, things. Let's say things. I mean, the country in general.
Oh, some.
In general.
Yeah.
Not saying that everything is perfect. You know, we come in here. We don't come in here and to cuss about.
But we discuss every day. What do you mean? Yeah, but there's no way for you to please everybody in our country. And that's just the reality. Some people would think the country running good, and some people would be like, no, this is
things horrible. It's the worst place ever.
This is the worst time we ever had in, you know.
You know what was interesting to me? So, for the last few weeks, I've been off island, right? And it so happens that I would have been in islands where there are a lot of people with St. Kitts Nevis ties. And everybody come in and asking me the one question. What really going on with that down there, boy?
Well, y'all keep saying, oh,
No,
so
when I ask,
we just here.
So when I ask what you mean, generally the response is, but things running so good. Why I don't the school? Like,
Again, y'all can't
so from
say,
the so for me, the view, at least for people outside,
that things look like it wasn't properly.
Things look like people asking me about how y'all was able to pay, give these social allowances and help with COVID. How y'all were able to ding.
As a matter of fact, just this morning that I saw one of the prime ministers from, I think it was the prime minister of St. Lucia. Let me check.
Jade, I speak to politicians from other islands who have admitted to me that not only in the islands that they they serve the people in, but in other countries, people watching us and trying to model what we do in where they come from here.
Sorry, not the current Prime Minister. The former Prime Minister of St. Lucia said, Prime Minister Pierre continues to insist that there is nothing that his government can do to minimize the pressure that you are feeling from the continuous increases in the cost of living. Well, here is an example of what a government that truly cares about people is doing to assist them. Recently, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris, has announced the following measures to provide relief to the citizens of the country. And he went on to list the measures.
Right.
So other ministers looking at St. Kitts like,
Jade,
that's what we should be doing.
I am very close with a particular minister from a neighboring island, right? And he just tell me all the time, he said, boss, all we gotta do is just watch I and do what I do, you know. Now, the thing for me is that I don't even know if it's a matter that they look at it and say, oh, is it Prime Minister? I think they say St. Kitts and they say the government.
Yeah.
I don't think that the rain fall and only the Prime Minister head when the showers of praise start coming.
No.
You know? But the point I'm making is that I don't know if there's a general feeling of, but we need to get rid of this man.
Well, guess what we're going to know.
And I also believe that it's not to say that the points that were brought forward by the other cabinet ministers ain't important, you know.
No.
But again, I think perhaps the messaging, there's a disconnect. There's obviously a disconnect.
Yeah.
There's obviously a disconnect. So because
people watch like, what y'all talking about?
And
that's why I said last week they need to be able to clearly
and not only that,
put over the message to the people that they want to grasp it.
Not only clearly, but you have to recognize that you must make it matter to the people you're talking to.
Yeah, facts.
You must make it matter.
And not just to your party and the party supporters.
Because a lot of people who I find supporting it, they always tell me, they just say things like, you ain't know what I know, you know.
Well, tell us how we got
No, but what that signals to me is that, okay, so you on the inside, so you're hearing things that happen.
But we ain't going to know how you want us to feel how you feel.
Yeah, so we can't feel the same way. Your experience different to ours. Your knowledge different to ours.
Clearly.
You understand? So I think that's something that we really need to tighten up on, because we're not... it really does seem like a disconnect to me, and I might be just living in a bubble. It might just be the people who I'm around, but yeah, I think generally, no matter who you support, people seem to just not be ready for an election. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up? We lost a caller. Somebody's trying to get in. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up?
Good morning.
Morning.
I think it's a case of beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, because you see, why we have been able to perform so much is due to one so well. It's because of one thing and one thing only: the CBI money. Okay. Prime Minister Gaston Brown noted that when I guess he got irritated by the incessant posting by the Prime Minister about what we were doing, and even Premier Brantley, in complaining about Nevis this year, said that it was because of CBI money why St. Kitts was doing so well in comparison to Nevis. Okay, so there is that perspective, but I think that generally speaking, yes, we are doing okay, but there are other underlying issues that people realize is simmering under the surface, which is not good. It contributes to uneasiness. We've never had a problem really with economic growth and development. Since independence, we've grown very steadily. Our numbers have always looked good, except for one or two blips, which we always recover from. The problem, I think, is our politics. Okay, and this was very evident in 2015, because the economy was buoyant in 2015 as well. But the people wanted a different kind of governance. right? Somehow they knew things were not being done right, done correctly, done fairly, and they wanted different, or something different. Come now to 2020 and 2022. They realize that nothing really has changed in terms of our governance.
There? When you said there, who are you talking about? The general public?
Yeah, the general public.
So you think what's happening
Nothing
now is a
has
call
changed
from the
in terms
general
of
public?
governance.
You think what's happening now is based on a call from the general public?
Not directly, because you don't see. I guess you'd say you don't see mass demonstrations and those kinds of things. But look at what Brantley and Sean Richards have been complaining about. It's governance questions. It's lack of accountability. They don't know what's going on. Things are not being fairly shared. Those kinds of things. In addition, of course, to who should hold power, who should be the prime minister and wield that much power. Those are the issues, and I would think that the politicians reflect the issues of the general populace.
So from your conversation,
we only get a chance to speak every 5 years, eh?
But what I'm saying is, do you believe that the issues that you said are simmering under the surface, do you believe those issues have been the cause of where we're at? And has that call come from the general public, or has it come from within the political class?
It has come from the representatives of the people elected. And that is the crux of the matter.
Yes, it comes
right?
from the people who are represented. Do you believe that in this case they are representing the views of the people who they represent?
I personally feel so. If you're a politician and you're in constant contact with the people.
So the 18 things in the 18 things that were stated as, hey, we need to fix these things. You believe that those calls came out of the general population? I came out of the interactions between the politicians.
It came out of a combination of both.
Which ones?
I mean, okay, for instance, this thing about not being able to appoint people or put people on step, for instance, okay? That is consequential. You can't tell me that one person should be involved in a decision like that. In any case, it should not even be up to the political directorate, but we know that it is. Okay, so that is a
right. So my thing would be, if that was a call coming from the population, then that probably might have been the population probably would have agreed with you there. They probably would have said we need to take the power to make these types of decisions out of the hands of one person. That probably would have been the call, but I don't know if that's exactly what I would have seen echoed in the statements.
But ask the person who needed to get on step how he feels about something like that, right? So that's what I'm saying. The representatives of the people, because we selected them as our representatives.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we selected them to act on our behalf and speak on our behalf. Okay, if we don't like what they're doing or saying or doing on our behalf, then we change them in the next whatever years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but in the meantime, they have a responsibility to act in the best interest of their constituents.
So are you saying that? So you're saying now that your belief is that the members of cabinet who would have taken the steps that they would have taken, that we've discussed here, they are acting in the best interest of the population. That is what you're saying. So you're saying that Sean Richards is acting in the best interest of the nation.
I think he feels that way. Yes.
No, what do you think?
Honest.
What do you think?
I think if
do you think that's what he's doing?
Yes, because
that's great.
Remember where I came from, eh? That the main issues are things of governance. And I've always advocated that if we had better governance, we would not be in this mess. Nobody would be able to say, well, how much you get from the CBI funds, or say, I don't know nothing about the peace program. those kinds of things. That would not have, that if in a well-managed, well-run, well-governed country, that would not be possible. That's public information. That's public money, right? And that would be forthcoming. So, and remember, too, that these things have been simmering for a long time. They have been raising issues. It only became, according to them, it only came out in the open after repeated attempts by them to approach the Prime Minister to address these issues. Remember that? So it has been simmering for some time. It didn't just explode just like that. Okay? So basically what I'm saying is that in the fire analysis, they are there to represent us. What they eventually do will be evaluated by us, and that's what elections are for. And that is why going back to the polls is probably one way of solving this. Okay, but then we know exactly what the people feel.
Gotcha.
All right, got you.
Okay.
Got
All
you.
right, then.
All right, man. I think
Anyway,
that
I hear the dissolving. Sorry, I hear the dissolving.
Parliament.
Parliament today. That's what they say. That's what the word on the street is.
Yeah.
Allegedly, the dissolving Parliament today. So
we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any say there. So we'll
Yeah, I'm
leave
talking
it.
this fight now with the chatting.
And not only that, Jade, I think, like I said, the caller say, yeah, look, that is what should happen, right? You give people a mandate, they go do the job. You pleased with the job, you give them another chance. You ain't pleased with the job, you give somebody else a chance. Like, that's how it is. But the thing is, I feel like that is such an oversimplification. If it were only so simple.
It would have been if it was so simple, we would have done fix this problem long time.
If it was so simple, we would not be having elections 2 years into a 5-year term.
Nope. Not at all. We would have been here merry and happy.
And even if we weren't merry and happy, you would have been seeing the agitation for the election.
Hurry up, call the election, man. We want to give it to him.
I don't know if it's just that I might just be in the wrong circles.
No, friend.
I might just be in the wrong circles, but I just when I talk to people want some resolution to this thing. They want it resolved, right?
But not necessarily
but and maybe if elections bring the resolve, then bring the election. Let's get it resolved and move forward. But I don't think that people were there sitting around thinking in 2022, but we need an election. We need an election. That just doesn't seem to be the general sentiment.
I don't even know how we reach here. I don't know how we reach here, you know?
Yeah,
Is we fault.
There's a lot of speculation.
We can have a talk, but
I'm glad that the caller thinks that
Sean
has the best interest of the country at heart.
Yeah, that's vibes.
I wonder if you think he can campaign for Sean?
Well, I mean, at this
I don't
point he
know
should, because he leading the charge. He said he thinks that.
He has the best interest of the country at heart?
So I feel like if that's your thoughts, you should lead the charge. Remember one time he told me I should lead the charge because of whatever he thought I should do? This is my call for him. Lead the charge. Since you feel like this person has the best interests at heart, lead the charge. We're going to back you.
Oh, boy. Yeah, but I guess we're at a point now where it almost, well, for me personally, let me talk for me personally. It feels as though what is happening is being played out in the political class, and I, as a citizen, just along for the ride.
That's how it really feels. Elections, those guys say me?
No. There's things where you expect, hey, election coming. I want to be quoted. I want to hear what's happening. I want to see what the issues are. I want to see what your plans are. And now it just feel like as if, like, the uncles beefing.
Long time.
It's almost like, you know what it is? It's more like the parents. The parents them arguing, and but the only thing to solve this is divorce. And you just kind of along for the ride.
Yeah.
You just kind of along for the
I
ride.
tell you so.
Yeah, you're just kind of along for the ride, and then you're hoping that once the divorce happens, that somehow the house goes back to some kind of peace and calm.
Yeah, and please, if we do go into election, which we are, we need to have actual debates. I don't want to have to watch 20 different lives for y'all to talk about, oh, this person, this. Debate the issues together. Let us hear who has the best answer. If y'all could do it for a queen show, why y'all can't do it for politics?
You want me to tell you why? Because and I think this has to do a part with our media. I think there's a belief that that a lot of these media hosts are somewhat biased, and so what happens is that we miss out on a big part of what should happen with debates, which is the fact checking. You don't want a debate where people just go up and just say anything and talk. And then the other thing with debates too, this is one of the things that I always find interesting about debates. And this really was cemented in my mind after the last set of presidential debates in the US. A lot of times it really matter about what you say now, like what good you say now, how sometimes it's just who has the best personality and who could express themselves the best. And that has always been a thing that I've known about debates, because I remember when I was in debate society, sometimes, hey, what you saying? As a matter of fact, a man could debate two sides of the same thing, you debate against himself. And win, it no matter which mood, which part of if he's for or against, he'll win, because he's a good debater. That's kind of what it is. Not saying that they shouldn't have them, but even them I take with a grain of salt.
Bye. But it would be good though. It would be good.
Okay. Yeah.
To have a.
I don't think a lot of the politicians would put themselves in that position.
Clearly not.
Yeah, and there's not a call. Let me not say there's not a call for it, because I think people have been saying this forever, but I don't think there's any. Like, if they don't do it, then what? You know what I mean? There's no consequences for not doing it.
No, that's true. But yeah, by-election period.
Yeah.
You ready?
No.
Okay, well, that was just me.
No. There's ways to deal with these things, you know. And I keep saying it, the idea of, cabinet not supporting the sitting prime minister, that is not strange. It's strange here in St. Kitts, but we see this happening across the world.
Man, there's been parliament train show. Hey.
I'm talking about a cabinet a prime minister losing support of his cabinet. That is not strange.
What's that country again that it happens every time?
Somebody back a show?
No, they no, them losing confidence in the prime minister.
Oh, you mean Pakistan?
Mm-hmm.
But it happened in England. It happened in England every now and again too.
Yeah.
I think Thatcher went about business, and I was talking to a listener of the show, and this is one of the conversations we're having about how that whole thing plays out in other territories, other countries, but not here.
We can just see how we can play out here, apparently.
Not here.
Yeah. I mean, if they're going to dissolve Parliament, they might as well do it early so we could get it. But then the thing is, right, you think you would do that so close to music festival?
Yeah. When you're fighting for your political life, anybody study music festival? I
feel like this would be a good time to have elections there. Here, why? People don't come home anyway. Kill two birds with one stone.
So Wednesday. The Wednesday before music fest? The Wednesday before music fest election.
Thursday we're gonna jump up in the park. Not in the park. What music fest gonna be up?
No, you have it on the Thursday.
Election can't be on the Thursday.
Have the election on the Thursday, so you vote and then go straight back.
No, because then Friday people want because after election, remember they gonna cut the votes.
No, what happened is by the time you're done jump up in the park, then hopefully your party when you just continue the party.
No, I think it would be better if they have election on a Monday.
And the big screen up the Kim Collins pavilion.
They do a music festival break and announce election results.
Vibes. Announce election results.
Vibes.
Just tell Kes, hold on.
Hold on.
We got something to say. Imagine Kes announcing the winner.
Whatever fireworks go off, that's the party.
They do it during Berries, right? Berries just come through. Wait a minute. Before I sing another song, tell me. And then announce the winner. Wait a minute.
I'm dead.
Oh man, we gotta stop doing this shit.
No. And then people gonna stop listening?
People vex, we just have fun. But let me tell you something, right? Let me tell you something, right? You have to sometimes find the humor in these situations. It's the only thing that keeps you from just being sad and depressed all the time.
Imagine if we come in here, go cuss every day. We're going to sound like the other radio station, them.
Ah.
And we don't want that. There's radio stations for that.
If Bunji do it, you can be vibes. Kind of,
You know,
Bunji,
energy coming behind there, you know.
but Bunji is the freestyle master.
You freestyle the election results?
Freestyle election
no,
results.
We wonder.
Man, he had, Jade. He had with the
We
freestyles.
wonder.
But yeah, we're gonna have to wait to see. I don't know what's happening with Parliament. I don't know if it's gonna dissolve. I don't know.
We just along for the way.
I still waiting for the makeup.
For the makeup over?
The makeup
Over.
between somebody and the Prime Minister. No, you don't think it can happen? Okay.
No, bye. Them they done. No, actually no.
So again, Jermaine Willock just posted. Babies will shout out family again.
Bye.
Remember
Oh, you want to tell them what to say?
But the man said,
time. This, I tell you, all these things is these nonsense that happen now. I beg for the man for using that term he does use all the time because another party does use it. How are the man supposed to do?
the man up and Labour thing, talking about
family? The Labour supporters like UX. How dare you?
But I couldn't start laugh.
Bruh.
I couldn't start
I
laugh.
back up too.
That was funny. But people blew X.
But they left though.
Oh no.
They go blue X from the ground, but I can't do nothing.
He went into no disturb sign and nobody was disturbed again.
They better. Listen, this election season about to be jokes. From us. Me nobody West people. And I know y'all feel like we're supposed to be serious. No, that's not what the show is for. We can tell you to lie so. So if y'all don't want these jokes, don't lock in. Simple.
But no, but Jade, I feel like generally people feel like tired. Like, and the thing is, we just start. But people seem to be tired.
Not a long way to go, man.
People feel tired already, and I'm just like, bye. We just come out of election, man. We just come out of COVID. Like, what are we gonna do? What
we could do? End up to us.
And that is the whole point I'm making. If it was up to us, I don't think this is what us would have chosen. I don't think this is what the majority of us would have chosen. I want us to make referendums popular, Because you see the caller there saying, oh, we let these people and they do what and they represent us for 5 years and thing. Watch this, some of these things we need to go say, man. We're in 2022. People literally doing polls on Instagram about which bathing suit they like the best. You want to tell me we can do a poll to figure out where we need to put traffic lights? Come on.
No, because then that would take the power to the politicians' hands. And that's not what they want.
Let us normalize referendums,
the politicians is who going to vote on if we need referendums, right? And I mean, they're voting against themselves. So you're salt. You could talk there with your referendum story, But these politicians, they're voting for that, as in, because that means now they actually have to listen to the citizens. They aren't the policymakers anymore. And that is not what they want. So that ain't happening. I know you want it. I know, friend. I know.
I just believe like it is not this. Look, there are some things that that the people really need to be consulted on. And don't tell me about you publish a white paper. Don't tell me y'all had a town hall meeting. Take time, alert the people as to what the situation is. This is what we are planning to do. These are the options. Bam, bam, bam. These are the pros. These are the cons. Bring your experts. Bring your whoever. Make your cases. Come to the people and ask us.
Instead of just doing things and then telling us, well, we don't do it, so y'all got to deal with it. Bro, what? No. That's not the definition of a democracy.
Let me ask you a question, Jade. Why you think the results of the referendum
and the traffic lights?
No.
Oh God,
and tint.
By tint are moving. The traffic lights going up. What else we was gonna do?
Watch it, right? Tint would have been gone. Ask the people them.
Other countries ain't got these. You're talking about.
We need to agitate.
Other countries got tint, Other countries, when I go to other countries, I say, so the police don't see you. And I'm like, why is time out? This is normal.
It depends. But my thing is, Jade, like, the laws should always reflect the society in which they are governed. They're supposed to be to govern, right?
They want us move forward and backward at the same time.
a lot of times the laws don't reflect that.
No.
The laws don't reflect that.
They are archaic,
Yeah, the laws
in the
don't
words of our good fave. They are archaic.
Yeah. But Jade is late, you know.
Yeah, man.
So we're
Time
gonna have
to
to
go. I hear a generator turn on. I hope they're making outside they gotta cover it, you know.
Going on.
I hope they're just like a one-off building.
Wow.
Anyway.
We have to wait and see. But guys, it has been great. It's a great start to the week. We are going to be
Indeed.
here all week between 8 and 10. Make sure you come and join us. Whether you join us on Facebook, YouTube, tune in, Win Media SKN's website, or any of the other digital platforms. We appreciate you big
Of course.
time.
Of
Whether you
course.
listen to us on your FM dial, 98.9. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Make sure you turn it up loud so everyone can hear.
Yes. And don't forget to lock in 2 voices at 11. And then for the rest of the afternoon, you know, some entertainment. We have DJ Flames coming on from 3
Big up Flames on
to
time.
5
3 to 5.
or 3 to 6.
Okay.
One out of them numbers. But just lock in, you're going to hear him. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the numbers. Just stay here while we're here.
And guys, also, I just want to say thanks to everybody who become a part of the conversation. Whether you're calling on the radio, we appreciate each and every one of you. If you are part of the community online, that text and message in the chat windows.
Love it.
Yeah, love it so much. You all really allow us to do what we do and are an integral part of the show. And we appreciate you for it, taking the time out and just being involved. But Jade, we got to leave, we got to go, we got to disembark.
Are you ready?
Well, guys, remember, spend more time living your content than posting it. And look here, stop trying to police people's interactions with others now.
That's not what.
Stop trying to do that, please.
I thought that's why y'all like you.
You could express your concern, but just recognize where it comes from, please.
And don't.
You're free to get back with your child mother. Anyway, I did.
The child father.
But guys, please remember that you can't everybody's cup of tea because you is not a mug. See you guys tomorrow.